Hello.
Hello and welcome to the Kijiji Network. Today we have our premiere show, and thank you for joining us. The show is entitled African Electoral Commission Deficiencies and Solutions. And here today to give a perspective on the topic is Gaa. Are you there? Hello?
Hello.
Technical difficulties. Are you there, guys?
Hello. Can you hear
Hello?
me?
Okay, now I can hear you. How are you doing
Yeah, I'm
today?
doing good. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Okay. Well, could you please tell the audience a little bit about yourself before we get started?
I'm Comrade Amiola. I'm an African. I'm an agricultural economist, a researcher. I'm from Oyo, Ibadan precisely. I am a Black nationalist in ideology. I'm a politician as well. Thank you.
Okay, great. So, if you don't mind, let's get started with the questions. First question I have for you is so we can get, the audience and me can get a very clear perspective of the state of politics in your country. Could you please give me a brief history about the following presidents? From what I researched, I went back into probably around the early 2000s to the late 90s to gain perspective, but I want to hear what you have to say about it. So the first president is, if I'm saying the name wrong, y'all forgive me, Obasanjo uh, Osulagun. Am I saying that name right?
Olusegun Obasanjo, President.
Yes. Am I saying it right? Yes. Give me a perspective of his presidency. What did you think about his politics and things of that nature?
Thank you. Well, it's a privilege to talk about my great elders, elder statement in my country in a open program like this. And to what I understand about Nigerian politics and who Obasanjo and his regime represent, actually, to me, as an ideologist, Nigeria was in a state of who is going to take the lead, the little time dictatorship that we had just passed away, and then we need to transfer the power from the military rule that we used to have into the civilian government. There have to be elections, there have to be political parties emergence, and all of that. It, I'm very at play in politics 1999 because I wasn't a child then. So I saw everything that happened. You won't believe me, they make up PDP, they make up Alliance for Democracy. Though Alliance for Democracy are part of Nadeco people who are in the struggle of decolonizing the military power into a democratic power. So they are the Alliance Democratic people, and their representative at the presidential post then was Olufalai. So he stands a chance as well as stakeholders within the Nadeco people and the Afeniferis of then, So Olusegun Obasanjo represent the military part of Nigerian ruling class because if we can say it, majority of the PDP, when I say PDP, I mean People's Democratic Party, majority of the stakeholders and the party leaders are past military people and generals or so like that. And with the Alliance for Democracy, that is actually a major opposition party in 1999, was more of farmers and lawyers, professionals, I would say, within the economy of Nigeria and all of that. So to talk about Obasanjo politics, Obasanjo to me has not actually been a very tactical and strategical politician because if he has been, the problems we have at hand today that are for playing would have been long solved. So if he's trying to give amendments or questions about what we are doing today, he should ask himself when he had 8 years opportunity as the first democratic president will have during the millennium, 99 to 2003. So that's enough to settle all our problems and all of that. So he couldn't do a lot of things. And I think his ideology, I can't place him to say this ideologically, this is where he belongs. I'm just going to call him a capitalist, like other people are. That is what they are. They're just set of capitalists within the political party status quo. They play along with what their allies want them to do, not what their people really want them to do, because we can see the consequences now today. That is what I would say for that question.
Okay. All right, well, let's move along. So the next president I would like you, because like I said, I'm trying to give the audience, that may not know the history of politics in your country, a little rundown of the last maybe 20 years or so, 15, 20 years or so of how things have been going for the reason for them to be the way they are now. So the next president I would like you to explain is Yar Adua.
Mm.
Yar Adua. Break it
Um,
down briefly about his presidency.
well, President Musa Yar'Adua was not actually chanced to do more during his time because of his health state of mind and his physical health condition. So he's battling serious health issue. He couldn't have that time, though the man would have done far better than what all the rest would have done. He came with just 7 pieces of agenda. Those are things he came to do. He mentioned them. He explained how he's going to go about them. Then he started these plans before the sickness could not let him push further. And he all of a sudden passed away. And that is how Goodluck Jonathan have to come in. And he succeeded Obasanjo in all of these election that we do have complaints about. There's always complaint about election in my country. Since 1999, the opposition have to write something and say, the election is not credible. Actually, it's not about saying they're not credible. They are shown not credible. That's what I would say.
Okay, well, let's get on to one that I have heard a lot about. If I haven't heard anything about any Nigerian presidents, other than your most recent president, tell me about Goodluck Jonathan.
President Very Goodluck Jonathan is just himself as well. He couldn't do much because the issue, the factor of our presidency not doing much is just down to Obasanjo 1999 Constitution Amendment. Even if you can give me in a Senate line to work in the same constitution, I'm not going to deliver them shit because I'm sorry for using that word, because the constitution is an anti-people's constitution. It's not actually designed to embrace development. It's designed around the cabal. It's designed around favoritism of a set class of people. This has nothing to do about race, about tribe, or whatsoever. Like people are trying to tag the situation we have in the country now. It's not tribalistic at all. It's not xenophobic. It's not Afrophobic. It's just straight time reactions to what we have on the ground. Goodluck Jonathan could not do anything. He was there. He was trying to fix what he thought he could fix, but he couldn't fix anything because you work with a system that had enhanced some of your cabinet members to be more powerful than you. Set of a cabal. Let me just say a caucus to be more powerful than you, the presidency. That if you want things done this way, no, these people are going to say no. This is how it should be done. And to oppositional politics, to partisanship as well. Partisanship is a problem in Nigeria and West Africa. It's not about Nigeria alone because all these issues, I can relate them in between to Africa, West Africa, Central Africa, and all of that with examples. So the main thing about Goodluck Jonathan is he couldn't do anything. He's just a moral person that has to accept defeat when he has to. Because if he has to play the game that everybody has been playing on election verdict and election day, I think we're going to be in some civil war by now. So I just don't have credit for anybody from then till now. There's no credit, no praises for any of them. Thank
Okay,
you.
well, I would like you to elaborate a little bit on something that you just said. You said that he set up his cabinet to be more powerful than him. Exactly what you mean by that?
Yeah, when I said the cabinets are more powerful than him, because yes, they put him in power. Don't forget, it's not about tally. It's not about primary elections that got him to where he became. Actually, President Musa Yar'Adua died along in line during the power while he was on the seat, and Goodluck Jonathan, as a vice president, constitutionally has to be the next president. So this power of incumbency was what won the following election for him and couldn't get him the next one. So when I say some major people in his cabinet are more powerful than him, yeah, because in the party, in the political party where he represents, there are other statements to him. So you could hardly say a lot of things. Yeah, that's how politics work. If you represent the party in the seat, political office, and there are some other statement in your political party that you know that they are far bigger than you in politics, not in political party office. That's what I mean.
Okay, okay, I think I understand what you're saying there. So, um, correct me if I'm wrong. So you're saying that when he got in office, he appointed people that already had more political clout than him,
Exactly.
more of a political stance. But to me, that shouldn't have made any sense if he was the president. Like, even though they might have been in politics longer or had a bigger I don't know what to say, following or approval rating or something of that nature, how can the president's cabin be more powerful than the president? I still don't understand that.
Okay. Let me still make you understand that better. What I'm trying to tell you is politics is caucus game. And if you're in power and the caucus which you work with and not actually your caucus, but you don't actually have your caucus in your political party, and you must work with your political party people. That is what our constitution says. That is what I'm saying. Whatever we see at foreplay today is down to 1999 amendment constitution by President Olusegun Obasanjo. So our constitution has made us, as a president, powerless to the political party which we represent. The minister must come from the party, not by merit. The ministerial appointment must come from the party, not by merit. The what's it called? The Electoral Commission officer, which is the HEC overseer, the director of the Electoral Commission, must be appointed by the political elected president. All of this doesn't just come to terms with natural democracy. If it is democracy, that institution should be independent, like it is called, to select their own leadership, to groom their own workers, not some professors in some universities and given appointment to work at Electoral Commission year in, year out. All of these will bring corruptions and fraudulent practice and all of that. It's just straight to what it is here in Africa. Caucus, politics are all together. Thank you.
Okay, so let's move on. Um, Now, the current sitting president is Muhammadu who is it, Buhari? Tell us present day, because he relates to present day. Tell us present day what is going on with the state of politics in your country and West Africa as a whole.
Well. With the coronavirus pandemic, worst. Things are really worst. It has affected the economy. It has affected everything. But beyond all of that, beyond coronavirus, we are battling insecurity. Insecurity. We are battling tribal differences. We are battling oppositional politics and partisanship as a problem as well. So all of this come together. President Muhammadu Buhari, well, is our sitting president. With honor and grace of God, he has done less than expected because why the people chose him 2015, if I'm not mistaken, was that the then president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, was weak in terms of handling the security situations in Nigeria with the Boko Harams and the headsmen. That is still the ongoing problem in the country right now. So you can see the increase of Boko Haram issues People are saying there is no increase in it, like they are controlling it, but nothing's been controlled. There is increase in Boko Haram attack in the northeast of Nigeria. In the northern east of Nigeria, there has not been rest. There have been attack on the state governor about twice or so. You know, all of this comes to the term that the president has not done much in terms of the security of the people, in terms uniting the people, and with the herdsmen and farmers issue, and the rural area development and farmers issues and herdsmen. The president has not also solved those issues. They are still there long standing, like it has been since Obasanjo's regime. You know, all of these things still shows the incompetency of the current regime. When we mention the president, it's not about the president alone. I always go into the details of why the presidency is failing, because the caucus, the ministerial appointment, and those that are in the rules of security and delivering the the decisions of the presidency to the populace are also not doing too fine, because the president is not going to come outside to get this job done. He's just going to employ someone or appoint someone to get this job done. So it's not about the President Muhammadu Buhari or Obasanjo or all of them that will be mentioning per se. It's about the constitution. It's about the way we appoint people. We don't appoint people with merit. You can imagine if President Muhammadu Buhari is appointing lawyer San Raji Babatunde Fashola, that's is a lawyer, but is the minister of works. What do you want him to develop? What does he understand about infrastructure? What does he understand about building and construction? All of those things comes down to how we appoint people. When you appoint a lawyer to be an agricultural minister, and when you appoint a farmer to be information minister, all of this has to come to why things are not really working and why things are not really going forward in Africa and West Africa. This is not about Nigeria alone. That's what is happening in African economies, because I'm talking according to what I've researched and what I've seen. I've been in major African cities and I've seen what is happening around it. I've observed the election as well, so I know what is going on. Thank you.
Okay, so with that all said, which I understand basically, it seems like the same thing over and over and over again, year after year. So tell me, um, where do you believe it all began to go wrong? We're talking after independence, it was a little bit of military rule. If I'm wrong, y'all do not kill me for saying that, but there was a little bit of military rule. Then it went into, sort of quote unquote real democracy. So, in your opinion, which president was most detrimental? Which means which one, most did the most damage and why? Which one was most detrimental?
To be political, I'm not going to say anyone is good. I'm not going to say anyone is bad. I will just
No,
leave
that's
it as say.
no,
I will
that's
just
not
leave
what
it.
I'm asking you. I'm
I
not
will just.
asking you which one is good or bad. I'm asking you, in your opinion, who was most detrimental to
No,
your
I'm going.
people and policy and why?
Yeah, to me, I'm just going to say is President Olusegun Obasanjo. Yeah, he made our constitution. He designed everything. He got the opportunity to repair Nigeria. He got the opportunity to develop our education. He had the opportunity to wake up the consciousness of people and say, no, from 1999 onward, we are not going to be European African, we're just going to be African. We grow at our own development rate, and we do what is necessary for us as Black people. You know, it's just the other way around. That's why I'm going to put that blame on him. He's our header statement, and he knows what will be the consequence of his actions by then. And here we are today. 1999. I'm just in the university. I'm a young a young student in the school, so you can imagine now. I'm given the opportunity to analyze what he has done then, and I'm saying he hasn't done good enough for us. It's just sad. That's it.
Okay. Okay, I understand. So, this leads me to ask you these questions then. Um, do you believe that the deficiencies in the government in your country has anything to do with Western influence?
Of course, yeah. Of course, yes. I believe.
Okay, well, could you break it down to me why you believe that?
Yeah, what I believe is also down to how we got the independence, how they welcome every president, how loans have been given, you know, how they accept every result of our elections. I'm just going to be fair here. Europeans have never been friend of Nigeria. We are just playing to the game. Giving us independence actually is just to brew some tribal problem which we still live with today because it's better they would have left us the way we are than entangling us in a trap. Now the trap is boomeranging, and people are willing to fight. People are willing to secure their own indigenous land. So uh, the European who made the first republic built this contraception, and their hand has never left since then. They interfere in everything we do. They give us loan. They buy our resources. They call us corrupt after giving us the money. When they give us the money, they knew that person they are giving the money is not going to use the money. Then they are not going to say anything after the person has finished lavishing the money. But they are going to call black people corrupt and say, in Nigeria, they are corrupt people. But actually, those people who stole Nigerian money are going to return it back to them to say, my friend, keep this money in some account in your country and what. And they are going to do that for them. And at the end of the day, they're just going to turn their back on us and say, black people are corrupt. So European has never left us. That's the reality.
It is that. Absolutely. I believe that a lot of the insurrection, a lot of the strife and war and all of the bad things that happen in Africa is directly related to Western influence. Like you said, they give you the money, then they call you corrupt after you spend the money in whatever way that you see fit. It's just like they gave the guns. They give you guns. They give you drugs. They give you whatever to fuel your own destruction. And then when you destroy yourself, they turn a finger and point. Look, look what they
A
did.
destroyed
They,
family.
yeah, look what they did. They destroyed themselves. We told you that
Exactly.
these were savages. We told you this
Exactly.
and that.
Exactly.
You sow discord and then have the audacity to turn the finger and say, "Oh well, look what they did. Look
Exactly.
exactly." So I'm pretty sure that it's a lot of. I just wanted your take on it. Um, a lot of Western influence. So this leads me into my next question for you.
Okay.
Um, what are your viable solutions to the problem of government in your country and West Africa and for real Africa as a whole? If you was to be able to obtain power and the influence to change everything overnight, we're just making a question. I'm just giving a scenario. If you had the power to change things overnight, what would be viable solutions to the problem to you? Your opinion.
Well, I just got five answers. Just five answers to solve all of Africans' issue. And to start with, it's just we can't be people without database. We can't have kids. We can't make next generation without knowing numbers of generation we are creating and what we must prepare for them as their own future. You know, African people lack database. We don't know numbers of us. They call us 300 million, they call us 1 billion. Actually, in my country, in Nigeria, we are close to 400 million already. I can boastfully say that. We give birth like you know on daily basis. Yeah, people also die on daily basis, but not as much as we give birth. We give birth to twins. People give corporate. People give triplets. People give twins. People give male, female. All of this. So we need database. That's the first thing. The second thing is education. We must educate ourselves. And when I mean education, I'm not meaning the formal education. I'm just meaning the traditional education, the culture. We are martyrs, we are warriors. We are not people who live like savages. We are not people who struggles to live. When I read the history of my grandfather never go after buying things or no, he lives within his farm, his compound. We are communal people. We build each other. So there's reason for us to get back to bases, and the only principle and the only way out of getting back to bases is education. When we have education, we will know ourselves. Because I tell people what we have currently is indoctrination, not education. All we could do is to write English, speak English, calculate money, write calculations, and present them. We couldn't produce nothing. That's how European designed our curriculum. We've got PhD, we've got masters, we've got all of those, but we couldn't make a car, we couldn't make a machine, we couldn't make a lot of things than to speak English about how they were made. So as for that, we need education. The third one of it is we need policies, policies that directly affect the people. Welfareism, infrastructure, industrialization, you know, agriculture development, agricultural economy research, all of that, production, all of these things gives rooms for employment and unemployment. That's for number three. And for number four is security. Security. And it's from education you're going to educate the people that your land belongs to you. Only you can defend your land. If you give your defense into the hand of foreigner, you want to buy your ammo tanks from foreigner, they're going to tell you it's a bulletproof, but they know the exact bullet that's going to penetrate into your bulletproof because they made you that bullet. So until you can make your own bulletproof, that is when you can say yes, you've got a bulletproof car running. And they made you jets. That is why you can fly and get crashed at any time because you don't know the usage and the duration of that jet fighter that sold to you and all of that. So, and that's for the security and all of that. We have to be security conscious about whatever and everything. And for the fifth one, which is the last one, it's to be culturally united all over Africa with the diverse culture of people. If we study this culture, if we study this tradition, all of them are related from Lagos to Accra to Kampala to Nairobi. to Soweto, to Namibia, to Angola. We've got similar relations in traditions and culture. But the problem is we speak different language. Yes, why we are not going to
It's not.
unify them?
I don't think it's just language. It's also tribalism. How do you combat tribalism in trying to unite the whole of Africa? Um,
We,
y'all,
as,
your
that's
country
what I'm
was
saying.
there. Like,
That's what I'm explaining. It's not that you are going to unite them in culture or you're going to unite them in tradition. You are going to unite them in blood to make them understand that all in all our traditions, all our culture with different tribes that we call ourselves and all of that represent one ancestry home without making our united African bloc culturally. We are not going to get it economically. That's the fact. Because when people travel from Cameroon to Nigeria and they can't speak that language the Nigerians are speaking, they're just going to say that's a Cameroonian. And culturally, if it is not so, then economically it will not be so.
I'm not
So
sure. Go ahead.
until we unify these, until then, we can talk about African free trade, African United States, whatever, whatever, whatever. Thank you.
So, okay, let me make sure I understand. So you're saying until we unite, how? I'm not really understanding. Like,
Okay, okay, let me make you understand. With the traditional African people in Ivory Coast,
mhm,
they worship Ifa,
okay,
but they speak French.
right.
I
And,
got to know. I got to know because I speak little French.
yeah, and it's called Côte d'Ivoire. Côte d'Ivoire is a French
Côte,
word.
Côte d'Ivoire, yeah, Côte d'Ivoire.
Yeah. So I know they speak French. So what are you
So
saying that is the real barrier is the language barrier or
yeah, yeah, no, 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 no. I'm not saying it's just a language barrier. Language is part of the barrier, you know. Language is part of the barrier, and little bit of this anxiety about not speaking, not being close together. When an Ivorian is going to see a Nigerian, is going to say, "Oh, Nigerian," you know, it's just going to have that skepticism, just like a Nigerian is going to see a Beninois in Nigeria speaking Benin language. They say, "Oh, so you're a Beninois." You know, it's not that they're scared of him. It's not that they hate him. It's just this anxiety feeling. I don't know what. I don't know if anxiety is right, but it's just this feeling about, oh, you're. So if we can just control this from the language, from that anxiety. I don't know if my English is correct. I don't know. From that anxiety perspective of we being surprised seeing another black person not speaking our own language and not living like us, and also understanding that what we believe as traditions is what they believe as well. It's just because we can't narrate it in the same perspective. That's all.
so would a universal African language um would that remedy that? Because I think that's what the use of these um these foreign Western languages that we use. Um, it seems that our oppressors found a way to do that with forcing their language on us. About just about anywhere you go, someone speaks English. No matter what corner of the world, even if they don't speak much of it, they speak some type of English. So they found a way that even to transcend cultures and races and everything for the common good of their objectives. So
No,
do
no,
you think that we need some type of universal African language that will unify us? Would that make it better? Because I don't. I don't think English does it, because the problem with English, the problem with French, the problem with Spanish, the problem with Portuguese, the problem with all of those languages is that we might understand each other under the banner of speaking them, but our enemy also understands what we're saying too.
Exactly.
So there's no codedness, there's no secrecy, there's no nothing. Because if I call out and tell you, hey, you watch that person, and the enemy is over there to my left, the enemy gonna know I'm telling you to watch him.
Mm. Mm.
Whereas if I said it in a common language between us, then they wouldn't know until it probably was too late what the hell was going on.
Yeah. So with all of these languages and that, it comes with religion and colonialism. That is how they spread their languages and make some people speak French, make some people speak Portuguese, make some people speak Espanol, and all of that.
Well, they spread their language from the takeover of the continent with the Berlin Conference. They chopped up Africa into pieces, gave each other what territories they wanted to give each other, and from that, whatever the respective language was of the territory or the section of the continent they took over, then that's what language. But they pushed the same agenda everywhere, even though it was in a different language. They pushed Christianity, they pushed the Muslim faith, they pushed whatever other, but those are the two main ones that I can
Mm,
think of. And it wasn't really about the language, it was just about who took over that part, but the
mm,
agenda was always the same. The
yeah.
agenda was always the same. They I know might get some pushback from anybody that listen to this that is religious, but they kept you on your knees praying with your head bowed,
Mm,
while your eyes are closed and your head is bowed and you're praying. They took everything around you and left you with a stinking book.
mm,
And it seems like that even in this day and age, with all the flow of information that we have access to like never before, it seems like nobody understands that. Nobody sees what really happened and how it happened. So how do you combat that type of brainwash?
well, with black people, we must just realize that the European also did not just start in a day, and we are not also going to end it in a day. We must keep educating, we must keep spreading the messages, we must use all of the avenues that we have to keep telling the people that the indoctrination, the neo-colonialism, the neo-imperialism, the neo-capitalist agenda, the neo-fascist system is still on play, but very, very invisible, like they are called new. So it's a matter of time. We must keep doing what we must do. We must stay straight to our struggle and stay faithful. Know what struggle we pick, know how we engage what is happening in our immediate community. And when you need to talk as indigenous people, you mustn't betray your people. Just get recognitions and teach people, keep teaching them. With time, we are going to get where we're going. And you can see around the world, around Black people's world, it's a lot of awakeness happening around. It has never been like this all over West Africa before, with a lot of tensions, with a lot of marches, with a lot of people waking up to their rights and want a change in government. You can see what happened in Ghana. You can see it's really a new development that's actually on the electoral day. There is a protest that has gathered huge thousands of people at the electoral headquarters. It's never happened in history of Ghana, except for one time like that. And I think it's not really as heavy as what happened this time. Though the level of consciousness is still low, but I think we are not really failing. We are achieving something. It's just not as rapid as human we want it, but we are achieving.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you the floor again, and I need you to give me any final remarks and comments that you have, things that you did not get to say during the program before we get out of here.
I don't hear you. Come again, please.
I said I'm giving you the floor again to speak freely. Do you have any final remarks or comments or things that you did not get to say during the broadcast?
Let me just say a little thing, like an advice to activists in Nigeria, in West Africa. It's actually an advice that we should see this time as an opportunity for all of us to rise, not for one person to rise. It's actually a time that we can uniform our struggle, especially for West Africa. Uh, there's reason for us to fight in West Africa. We must decolonize the French and English colony in West Africa. It's very, very important if there's going to be way forward for West African people. And with a lot of the resources that they get back here, there's reasons for us to ask for development and infrastructural development, our educational facilities improved, and all of that. So if we are not getting all of this, there's reason for activists around West Africa and Africa as a whole to uniform their struggle, to uniform their demands, to fight earnestly, resiliency, restlessness. I don't just know what English to use. We must not just be tired. We must keep fighting. We must keep pushing. This is not about I want to win or you must win or somebody must win. We must just design somebody to win, to take over the struggle where they can. The next generation, we must prepare a very nice battlefield for them. We mustn't make the struggle too difficult for them to fight. And well, I don't know. I'm kind of being emotional with the situation we found ourselves in our own generation because it shows our ancestors, people who took over our great grandfather, did not do much after they fought to keep us alive, and they couldn't just continue from there. Thank you.
Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure, Guy. And
Thank you.
hopefully we can do this some other time. Again, elaborate on ideas and basically see how, as a people, we can really come together. Because in order, like you said earlier, in order for us to really get this thing done, in order for us to ever have anything tangible, we're going to have to stick together somehow. We're going to have to overcome petty differences, the language barrier. In the case of Africans in stolen, I call us stolen Africans in the United States or in the States, um, cultural differences, because our slate was wiped clean. We were taken, our heads were shaved, we were forbidden to speak anything that was native to us on the continent, and we were reworked and reshaped into their image with just black skin. No
Mm,
matter how, hurtful that might sound, or how much a lot of us as African Americans want to deny that,
mm,
we were wiped clean and we were
mm,
left with basically almost nothing. And it's a unpopular opinion that I have, that I say often, and I feel like we are culturalists. Fried chicken, rap, and in jazz and stuff like that is not really culture to me, because it was something that was fleeing and desperately put together from the remnants of who we were. That's why it's not really culture to me. To me, culture spans hundreds and thousands of years, and culture transcends generations of our people and our history. And what we have is, I feel like okay, you know what, struggle culture. To me, it's struggle. It's struggle culture. It was what we could manage to keep and then remix into something else. But I digress on that because I know I'll get a lot of blowback for that. But anyway, um, as I said, I appreciate you. Thank you for
Thank you.
coming.
Thank
And
you.
like I said, hopefully we could do this again.
Definitely, we will. Thank you.